everybody, it's Doug here, Doug Mr. Guy, Board Game Geek, bringing you a smaller playthrough, something I thought I'd revisit for just a little bit since I have all the stuff for it that I got from my Kickstarter. I'm a huge fan of Conan, and I got the game, and I did a couple scenarios on the channel, so I thought I'd do another one while I was waiting for a couple things to come through. I have so many things I need to get to the table. I stopped actually this month. After backing Ricky Royale's Renegade, I stopped backing Kickstarter unless something really big comes up that I'm truly interested in. I'm not going to back anymore because I have so many games I haven't even got to the table yet. I haven't backed one in a while, actually. I backed Ricky's, but haven't backed something recently. And I haven't been buying a lot of things either because I have so much already. I just got to keep playing. I haven't gotten to a lot of them. And sometimes people will send me stuff to do as well, so I try to get to those too, and I'm even slacking on some of that stuff. So I think I'm just going to stop and do some things with what I have, because I have quite a bit. But that leads to today. Today we're going to do a scenario from Conan. And I don't think this will be a lot of episodes, because these scenarios are not long. This one's only going to be 8 turns. And we're going to be doing something called Red Dawn. And as you can see, we're on the Pictish board map. And I'll just pan around and show you that I already have the board all set up for the scenario. It's all ready to go. And I'm going to read the scenario to you, and we're just going to dive right in and have some fun. Now, one of the reasons I decided to pull this out again now is because I got this weird envelope from China the other day, and I was like, what is this? And it was a completely updated rulebook set for the game, which I appreciated. So I thought I'd give it a spin. I read through it. Didn't see a lot of changes, just clarity. Better clarity, I think, is the right way to put it. There might have been some changes, but I hadn't played in a while, so I didn't recognize what those changes were. Okay, so we're going to read the scenario. Red Dawn. The situation is dire. The Aquilonian province of Kanjohara is on the brink of collapse, drowned under the assault of the unified Pict tribes led by Zogar Sog. For days, Conan and his band of scouts have prowled the Black River, fighting fiercely to protect the settlers fleeing the destruction. Reaching a small village, the scouts find the population slaughtered. On some corpses, the skin is shriveled and blackened, while other bodies have been mutilated by some terrible beast. This is the work of Zogar Sog, Conan grunts. He commands wild beasts, and I have seen others fall victim to the black death of the swamps before. They head back toward the river. At dusk, they come upon another village. It remains intact, though deserted. Exhausted, the scouts turn in for the night. Though Conan issues a warning. Rest assured that the Picts will arrive soon to wipe this place from the map. Rest while you can, for tomorrow we make them pay for their crimes. When the red dawn rises, even Conan has slipped into slumber. Civilization has dulled his instincts. However, he is awake before the first Pict manages to slip into the village. Okay, so what's going on with this scenario? So first up, here we have the Book of Skelos. You can see that we have a number of Picts. We have Zogar Sog, we have the Pict warriors, the Pict hunters, and some hyenas. And those are the wild beasts that have torn apart the villagers. In this scenario, here's the winning conditions. It says winning the game. At the end of turn 8, if the heroes have more points than the Overlord, or are tied for the most points, and a hero has fled with the idol of Yog-Kosha, the heroes win the game. At the end of turn 8, if the Overlord has more points than the heroes, or is tied for the most points, and no hero has fled with the idol of Yog-Kosha, the Overlord wins the game. Okay, so we've done this setup, and I got some special cards out. You'll see how it plays out as we go. You can see that the huts each have a set of cards in them. Those cards represent some equipment, but they also represent some objective cards. The Overlord has picked one objective card, which I put in the Book of Skelos near him just as a reference. It doesn't actually do anything in the Book of Skelos. But at the end of the game, all the revealed or unrevealed or left on the board special cards are going to provide points. So, for example, card A says the hero scored 2 points if a hero fled from the upper left road area. And then the part is now, if this was left on the board, this could also benefit the Overlord. The Overlord scores 3 points if no hero fled from the upper leftmost road area. So you can see there's a give and take. Now, how do we get them on or off the board? Well, here's how this works. It says we can search. A hero in a hut area can perform a complex manipulation to search the hut. The manipulation has no difficulty. Instead, for each symbol shown on the die, the hero takes one face-down card in the area. If the card is an asset, the hero turns it face up. If the card is an objective, all heroes can look at it. The heroes decide whether to discard the face-up card or keep the card face down. So I'm going to have to pretend a little bit that the Overlord doesn't know some of the stuff that's going on with this scenario, but it'll be okay. I might just do some dice rolling to see what gets kept and what doesn't, and all yada yada. Should be interesting though. I just want to show you how it plays out. This game is, I like the scenario-based game, but I keep waiting and looking, and maybe somebody has and I just haven't seen it yet, is like a campaign. Because this is Conan after all, and it's set up for great role-playing opportunities and tactical combat stuff. It's really cool that way, and heck, maybe I'll do that someday when I finally get around to it. Now you notice that some of my miniatures are slightly painted or marginally painted. I did start painting them, though I have not finished them. So here's Conan, for example. He's painted, he's just not complete yet. He looks okay. There's still more I want to do with him, but you get the idea. I haven't finished the details on his face, things like that. I also painted the pics, with some basic colors so far, and then the hyenas were probably the most complete at this point. The color scheme was kind of similar, so I kept it the way it was, but you see I got some highlights on them. Their faces are all detailed out, etc. And so we're going to continue and play on. Now, in this scenario, the heroes get to go first. Of course, they were asleep, so they're slightly fatigued, so half of their gems are in the fatigue area. But I think the first thing that we're going to do is get some searching done, obviously, because we need to find this stuff. Because in the scenario, the other part of it is they started with no gear, so the gear's in the huts. Now, you'd think that Conan would have a sword near him, but apparently he was wandering around, fell asleep in a random place, must have left his sword in another location. Perhaps, maybe it is in there with him. We'll have to see. It's going to be based on some dice rolls. So, let's get started and have some fun with Conan. Now the first thing that we have to do is we do our starting phase. Now in our starting phase, if we had had gems out on the board, like if I had had a couple of them in this manipulation area, I would just move them down to there. That would be our starting phase. But of course in the first phase, we really don't have any of that. The next thing we do is we pick a stance. Now we can take an aggressive stance or a passive stance. One allows us to heal, but doesn't allow us to do very much. And I think in this first turn, since we want to get some equipment, even though the picks haven't reached the village yet, the hyenas are rather quick, and the Overlord could actually activate them first. I think that they're all going to take an aggressive stance. So I'm going to move their gems up to there. That means that they will recover 3 of their, at this point, it looks like, sorry, 2 rather, of their fatigued gems. First off, we'll take Shivadas, Conan's lifelong friend. Great warrior. He's a pretty tough guy, but we're going to take 2 of his gems. I'll go over their abilities. They do have special abilities down here. They also have an encumbrance thing, some skills. You'll see how that works as we go. I'm going to take 2 of these gems and move them over for him, and then we're going to do the same thing for Conan right here. And in my other scenarios, I was playing with the mage. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but this one calls for one of Conan's lady loves, Valeria. She's tough. And we're going to move 2 of her gems over as well. And again, they have special abilities. I'll go over them with you as we use them, as we do things with them, to see how that goes. So that was the stance phase. Now we're going to start taking our actions. Now, there's no particular order. I can do 1 action for Shivadas, 1 action for Conan. I can go back and forth. We don't spend them all at once. So I think we'll start with Conan. Let's think about this. Okay, we're going to start with Conan. He's going to spend 2 of his active gems. So I'm going to take 2 of those out of the 3 that he can do, and we're going to move them into his fatigue area. Let me show you that, or sorry, his manipulation area. Let me show you that. So we're going to take these here. We're going to move 2 of them up there. That's going to give him 2 orange dice to see if he can uncover the treasures that are there. Hopefully he gets 2 symbols, because that's what he's looking for. Okay, here's Conan in this hut here. He's woken up, and the picks are coming to get him. He knows they're coming to raid the village. He's going to see what equipment's in there with him. And he rolls a goose egg! That's just awesome way to start, Doug. Good job! Okay, but we're not done yet. We're going to take 1 gem, just because I feel the need to do this. We're going to put it in his reroll section. We're going to reroll 1 of these, and he gets 2 symbols. So now he gets to see both of them. I think I'm going to keep him a secret from, well, say they're both items. So he can choose to take them. Guess what he got right off the bat? The Idol of Yog Kosha. Well, he's kind of got to take that, but the fatigue, so his total encumbrance is 12. He can take that. He also got to pick this drink. Now, what are that in this particular scenario, the pick this drink allows a character to a hero to heal some fatigue, but also causes a wound, which is bad because that's a permanent, mostly permanent loss of one of their things. So he'll pick up both these, I guess. They're going to go in Conan's area. That sucks. There were no weapons in there. So what's he going to do now? I think I'm going to pause him for a moment. I'm going to do the same thing with Shivatas. So I moved 2 of Shivatas's gems over to the manipulation thing, so you can make a manipulation roll. Oh well, he clearly got both those, so we're going to take a look at those. Okay, so he got an objective card. I'm going to look at the objective card without showing you, just to pretend like you guys are more like the Overlord, I guess, and see what that one's going to give him. Okay, I think he's going to choose to discard that one. So he's discarding the card, the objective card he got, and he found the other pick the strength. So he's going to keep that one. This is not what I wanted to see out of this turn. This is not great. So we're going to pause him for a moment, and we're going to go to Valeria. She's going to do the same thing. So by random bad luck, it looks like I put all of the weapons in huts that don't have players in them. So I'm going to move to, actually, just as a point of clarification, I'm looking at their sheets, and I should realize that the manipulation skill is not all the same. Shivatas actually gets 2 red dice for his, and Valeria, when she does hers, gets 2 yellow dice. Conan was 2 orange dice. So they're all better at different things, and it's not that great. But let's roll for her as well now. She's up here, and she got 2 as well. So we're going to get to look at 2 of these. Now we know that 2 of them are going to be objectives. Oh, finally, somebody got a weapon. Okay, so this particular objective she's going to put back. I already know which one it is. And she's going to take the sword and equip it. She's got it now. She can fight. Good, somebody can fight. And what does that mean for her? So she's still got some stuff she could do. She's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 gems left. Hold on, she should only have 5 gems left. There's only supposed to be 5 in her. Yeah, there's only supposed to be 5 in their starting area. So she's got 5 gems left. She got free movement of 2. It's gonna the flaps for these things take 1 additional. Let me look at the scenario just to see. Hut flaps. A character must spend an extra movement point to move across the border. Okay, so to get out of the space, she's going to have to move 2. So her 2 movement points will take her to here. She is now outside the hut, and I think she can spend another. She can spend up to 4. Yeah, I'm debating on what she wants to do there. I think I'll pause with her for a moment. So Shivatas is pretty sure that Valeria is going to not pick up a weapon that's in this little hut over here. So for his next action, he's going to spend, and he has a movement of 3 actually. So he's going to take 1 to move out, 1 to go through the flap, 1 to move out. That's 2, and he'll take 3 to move to there. Now he could spend 2 more and get into that hut and then search some more, but I'm a little concerned because enemies are coming. Now the good news is that the enemies that move the fastest are still far away from him. He still could get into trouble. He could get in a fight right where he's at with these picks that are right here. So I think we're going to wait on him. So he did that. He made his movement. And then what we have left is Conan. Conan's on the side, though, with all the hyenas, and the hyenas are fast. Now they're outside the fence line, so they're going to need some extra movement. But let's go to him for a second. So Conan has an ability called Wall Wrecker. The character can spend 2 movement points to move across a wall or wooden door from one area to an adjacent area and place an opening token on that object. So he's going to do that. He's up here, where he will spend 2 tokens on movement. That leaves him with 3, and he's going to bust through the wall. And now he's going to do that because I want to hit him in a slightly different direction, and it'll actually save him a movement point. I'll show you how. It's because he moves when he does this. So he's in this hut. He could go through the door. That would take him 1, 2, or he can go 2 here, end up here next to this hut where he can get in there much more easily. And if I do that, he's going to have only one gem left in his thing. So I think he's just going to wait there. But he busted through that wall, came on through. Shivatas and Valeria still have a lot of gems left, but I'm worried that we're going to run out. So I think I think they're going to end it right there. That's really bad not getting some weapons. Doesn't mean they can't fight. It just means they don't get the bonuses in attack and defense from the stuff that they would get. So I believe we're going to end it there and go to the Overlord's turn. Let me think about that for just a moment on the hero side, and then we'll move on. Yeah, the heroes are going to hesitate in case they find themselves in a position where they have to defend their lives, and because they don't have any active armor, so the only way they can do that is by spending gems in defense. So what we're going to do here is the first thing that happens is for the Overlord is he gets his recovery phase. By the way, I couldn't find the token that goes here. It's a shield in case I want to use it for extra defense. But we're going to get 2, 4, 5 gems back, as you can see from right here. Now we can activate up to 2 items in the river, 0 to 2. And I think one of the first ones we're going to activate, actually, 4, 3 are the hyenas. So I'm going to move 3 over to his fatigue area. We're going to activate the hyenas, which means I'll take that, slide it forward, push them back to the end, and then we'll go to the board and have some hyena movement going on there. So the hyenas have a base movement of 5, and you can see that there's this fence line here, so they have to come in by the road. So we're going to have him go 1, 2, 3. This one's going to go 1, 2, 3. They're going to mob Conan there. And then we're going to have this one go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and go after Valeria so we can get some fights going on. Then they're going to get to attack them. Now, they each have one single orange die, and that's all they get. So that's not terrible, but it is the beginning of something. So at least Valeria, because of her sword, does have a natural defense. When she actually takes defense, she gets a bonus yellow die. That's pretty good. So the hyenas are going to attack Conan, and he is going to take 2 of his gems, leaving him with 1 left to defend against each one of those. He's going to get a die. So the first one attacks him, he spends 1 gem to defend. That's going to give him an orange dice in the defense versus an orange dice in attack from the hyenas. So let me get those dice. Okay, so let's roll to see if the hyena actually hits. He does not. So now Conan did commit a gem to the defense of that, so that is the way it goes. However, the hyena missed him. So the second one, he's going to do the same thing. You'd rather have those in fatigue than in wounds. So the hyena misses him again, and it cost him, he did defend, he dodged those 2 attacks, but they never hit him. I got to double check. I haven't played in a while. I want to make sure by the rules that I'm doing the right thing in combat, and that the defense has to be spent in advance. I think it does, and regardless of whether or not they hit. So let me check on that. When a hero is attacked, after the attack power is determined, the hero may defend. Okay, so I'm going to take that back. He didn't spend either of those. He didn't have to. That's good. I'm glad I remembered that. All right, so that was the 2 attacks on Conan. Then we have the one on Valeria. Let's just move over a little bit on that. The hyena is going to attack her. It misses as well. God, we're having a wonderful rolling day. So Valeria takes no damage. They could have continued on with their actions. Now, the one thing that's bad for Conan, though, is he is hindered because these guys are outnumbering him, so getting in here is going to cost extra movement if he wants to do that, or he can fight them. We'll have to see. Now, the Overlord can still activate another tile, and I believe that he's going to. He will spend 2 to activate the orange-based picked hunters. So we're going to slide that down. We're going to take 2 of his gems. We're going to spend those. The first one is down here. He has a movement. They have movements of 2, so he's going to go 1, 2 to Conan, where he will attack Conan. This one's going to go 1, 2. This one's going to go 1, 2 as well. Now, why are they going there? Because one of the things in this scenario they can do is fire up these huts and create some damage. I could continue to move into here. Actually, couldn't make it, so they move their full movement. But I want to go into these areas where the wooden huts are so I can burn them. Now, last but not least, for movement, I'm going to pull up right here, just alter that. We're going to go 1, 2, and Shivatis is going to be facing a picked as well as Conan. So let's get that out, and we're going to roll some dice for them. Now, these guys have an attack value of 2 yellow, so they're a bit worse. However, we did keep some dice over, so we'll start, since we're already on Shivatis here. That picked warrior comes up, and he's going to swing on him. They also have a little armor. They can also leap over obstacles, but we're not going to worry about that right now. We're going to attack Shivatis. So they got a hit. So Shivatis is going to spend, he'll spend 1 of his gems, 1 of his 5 on defense. He's going to dodge because he doesn't have an item. His dodge gives him an orange die, it looks like. Yep, one orange die. Let's see if he can block. He does. He successfully dodges that Pictish attack. So the Picts are not being incredibly effective right now. Next up, this one here is going to attack Conan. It does hit Conan. Conan's going to finally spend one of his gems on defense. Let's see what he gets. He blocked that as well, so no damage, but they're getting fatigued. That could be bad for them later on. Alright, well that is going to end the Overlord's turn, actually. So if I go back, let me just, once again, I'm doing some mental refreshes on the game. One of the things I don't have in the game is like just a turn order chart thing, but that's okay. So, and then we go to the end phase. What happens at the end phase? At the end phase, the Overlord moves all gems spent during their turn, including those placed on spell cards, to their fatigue zone. Okay, well we didn't do anything like that, so they all went to the fatigue zone. We are okay there. I mean, ideally, Conan would like to get out of the map because he's got the idol of Yog-Kosha. But that's one of the reasons I swarmed him early on, so he wouldn't. He's surrounded. He won't be able to leave very easily, that's going to prevent him from doing that. But we're going to go back to the heroes phase now and see what we get done. So the first thing we do is we do at the start of our turn phase, which means all of these gems on each of the characters move to the fatigue zone. You saw that Conan used quite a few of them, and Valeria used a couple as well. And then we're going to pick our stances. Well, I really don't have much of a choice but to continue to pick aggressive stances given the current circumstances that we have. So we're going to do that. That means that everybody, Shivadas is going to get 2 back, Conan's going to get 2 back, and Valeria is going to get 2 back. That gives him enough to do some things, though it's going to slow Conan down a lot. He's nowhere near encumbered. He has an encumbrance of 12. He's only got 4 with the idol, so he's fine. But let's start with Valeria because she's got the most opportunity to help either Conan or Shivadas. Probably Conan. But you don't have to perform actions in any particular order, so the first thing she's going to do is take her sword and swipe at it. Now, again, we didn't have to roll for defense, but this sword does have some stats. It adds an orange die, as you can see there, and it adds a yellow die when you use it to defend it, or parry rather. So right now she's going to use it for the purposes of attacking. I think she'll spend, well, the hyenas have 0 armor, and they only have 1 health. So I think if she spends 1, that's going to give her 2 red dice. She's very likely to kill it. She's going to spend 1 gem out of the 3 possible she can spend on combat. That's her maximum. And that's going to give her 2 orange dice to fight this hyena. So she turns the hyena with the sword, she swipes it, and oh, she slaughtered the hyena. So this hyena is dead. It goes off the map. Boom. Okay, now she's going to use her free movement, obviously to help Conan. So she's going to step in here, and she's going to she can move up to 2 for free before she has to spend any movement. She'll spend another token on combat. That's 2 of her several. She's got plenty, and she's going to attack. I think, yeah, she does. Okay, the guys with the orange picked hunters do have an armor, so she's going to attack one of the hyenas and see if we can get it killed, because it'll allow Conan then to move unhindered because the players are going to equal the amount of enemies. So we're going to do that. Oh, she totally whiffed on that. Wow. She'll spend her last gem to be able to do that. So she spent 3 now to do that. And she's got 3 in combat. That's the most she can do. So she cannot spend another gem on combat. She got 2 hits. The hyena has absolutely 0 defense. So she killed another hyena. Good for her. Now you think, what do you get for killing things? Nothing. You get to live. So that's the scenario that we have with her. Now, Conan, now that there are equal number of enemies, Conan is actually not going to fight the enemies. He is going to spend 2 of his fatigue on movement. Well, actually, he's got 2 movement points. So he's spending both of them to just move into here. Then he's going to spend 2 of his gems on fine manipulation to pick these up. Now, we're going to roll 2 orange dice for him, and he's going to see if he can pick up these items. Hopefully there's a weapon in there for him. Well, he easily did that. So let's see which oh, wow, this is good. Okay, so Conan's in an interesting place. First off, he got a javelin, which means he can throw that. He can't throw it. I don't think he can throw it out the tent flap. And he can also recover. It's going to fall where it hits, but it does a plus red die. Then also adding to that, he also got another sacred treasure. So he's got the idol of Yog-Kosha. Now he's getting pretty. He's got the idol and a sacred treasure. So he's got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 fatigue out of his 12. He's not. He is now hindered for movement. He's going to be -1 movement. So I think he's going to leave the sacred treasure in the room. He'll just drop there so someone can pick it up. He does not want to be hindered. And that's where he's going to end his action for right now. So he saw them both. He did not pick up the sacred treasure. Someone else can do that. Okay, next up, I think we'll go with Shivatas. So Shivatas has no weapons. So he's going to... He can still fight, though, and he can spend up to 4. He's going to spend 2 right now, which is going to give him 2 orange dice on that picked. And the reason he's doing that is the picked there, the orange pick does have a point of armor, so he's going to get to roll. He has to roll 2 hits to kill it. Let's see if he can succeed. He actually rolled 1 and 1 missed, so he's going to spend another gem. It's going to leave him with 3 to on a reroll to reroll this die. See if he can get it. He does. Boom! So he kills this guy as well. They are killing the enemies. Now that leaves him with 3 gems. So he's going to go... It's going to leave him a little vulnerable. I'm a little concerned about that. Because he won't have any ability to defend himself unless he gets a good item in that shed there. He may just wait until he... Because it depends. I'm really concerned that if he moves into that hut and tries to collect some things, which he can do. Now Shivatas has the ability of... He's got a special skill. I'll show you what that is. It is lock picking. The character gets to roll an extra red die when picking a lock. That's not going to help him. And that's really the only thing he's got. He can climb. He has a movement ability as well, but that's only going to help him. He could have not fought. He's evasive. He could have not fought that picked and moved into that room. That might have been a better move, but he didn't do that. So I'm going to say that he is going to... He's got 3 gems left. If I hesitate, that'll give him 5 for next turn if he continues to take an aggressive action. I think that's what he's going to do. Okay, now we still have some stuff we can do with Valeria. So I think Valeria... yeah, I don't know. I probably should have done this before Conan moved, but it's a little late for that now. She cannot attack. She can't do anything else other than... Yeah. She's going to wait there. That's going to be the end of her turn as well. She's sitting here with these 2 guys. That's going to be the end of her turn. Alright, guys, that means that we're going to go back to the Overlord's turn. I'm going to do the Overlord's turn, then we're going to conclude this video. So let's go back to him now and start his turn. So we're going to go to the end turn for the heroes. They have done all of their stuff. So let me see, what does the end turn do for them? End phase, I think they just move all their gems over, if I'm not mistaken. So, let's see, end phase, yeah, move all your gems. Okay, so all we're going to do right now is move these gems into here. Last turn I should have done that. The only ones that should be in there post-turn are rerolls and defense, at the beginning of the turn, but that's not the way it works. So we're going to move all these into their fatigue zone, and they're starting to get a little tired. Conan's definitely a little tired there. He's been really fighting himself, and he's just fine. He does have a javelin now. At least he's got some kind of weapon he can use. So that's the end of that. Now we're going to go to the Overlord's turn. We're going to get together with his start phase. Now you can see this part of the Book of Skelos here shows how many gems he recovers. So he's going to get 2, 4, 5 total gems in recovery. Now what is he going to do with those? He's going to definitely, I think he's going to activate, yeah, he's going to activate for 1 point, he's going to activate the green picked hunters. So that's these guys. They're going to go back to the end of the Book of Skelos. He's just got a little nasty for Valeria, because these guys are going to go, they have a movement of 2. So they're going to go 1, 2, and they're going to jump in there and attack Valeria. Now, the other ones won't be able to attack because I didn't activate them yet, but those 2 will, so let's do that. Valeria, again, she's still got some stuff going on, but these guys are rolling 2 yellow dice. She does have gems to defend with. Let's see what she gets. So that one did hit. She is going to defend, so she spends 1 gem. Now, because of her sword, she gets to parry. That means she's going to get an extra yellow die to defend, and she did. She didn't need the yellow die, but she did defend against it. And then the next picked here, this other green picked, is going to attack her as well. And we'll see what she gets. It missed, so she has no problems with them. All right, up north, this guy is going to go 1, 2 to here with them. That's really all he gets to do. This picked here is just going to move to here. He's going to stop there because when he gets to activate again, he's going to light these buildings on fire, and it's less likely that Shavadas is probably going to use more movement than attack to get to him. So he's hoping that the Overlord is hoping that he won't be attacked, that guy will not be hit by Shavadas. So for his second and final activation this turn, he's going to activate these picked warriors for one more, so he's going to have lots of gems next turn to do things with. That's going to be the big guys, the picked warriors with the big clubs are going to come in to do some fighting. So starting here, this big guy here, he's going to go 1 to here and then 2 into this space with Shavadas where he's going to get to attack him. They get to roll 1 red die, which is definitely better than 2 yellow. Then this guy is also going to move up. He's going to go 1, 2 to there. And then we go over to the other side. Down here we're going to go 1, 2, and he's going to move. Now, you're going to probably wondering, say, man, you could just reactivate some of these guys, spend some more gems and get some attacks, but next round when I activate them, I'm set up to light some of these huts on fire, which are going to provide the Overlord potentially with some good victory points. So we're going to save that. And then we got one more guy. He is up here. He's going to go 1, he's in this space here, 2 to there, and start to come into the village. That's going to be both of the Overlord's activations. Good job, Overlord. He's got things going on. But we do have an attack on Shavadas with that big guy, the first one that came there. Let's go do that. Hopefully this guy can at least get Shavadas to waste some fatigue. So we're going to roll 1 red die, see what he gets. Oh my gosh, he got 3 hits on Shavadas. So Shavadas does not have any items, so he's going to spend 2. He's going to spend 2 of his gems on defense right now. And that means he still might result in a hit because that's going to give him 2 orange dice. But on 2 orange dice, he's more than capable of getting 3 defense. So let's see if he can dodge. Oh, and he did not. So he loses 1. So here's what happens. Shavadas just got wounded, so one of these is going to move to the wounded section where he took a hit by that guy. So first wound of the game by the Overlord. He could have taken more, but he did block it. You know, he could use that to do a reroll before he takes that hit, I think. But then, man, okay, he's going to actually use the last of his points to do a reroll. I would rather that be in fatigue than in wounds. They're hard to get back. It didn't matter. So he still takes that wound. Man, that is really bad. He can't spend anything else because he's got nothing left. Valeria is in a big fight, so she can't go help him. Conan has got to get some stuff. That's the bottom line. We need weapons, better weapons. He could step out into that space, help Valeria, and then throw, because he'll have line of sight, he can throw the javelin at the guy in Shavadas' space. Because Shavadas is trying to get to this place here, but he's blocked. Now he's slippery. He's probably going to run right in, but he's got no more, he has no no ability left to do that because he's fatigued. Now if he takes a passive stance next turn, he'll recover 5. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. That is going to end the round, going to end the turn, guys. Hope you enjoy this. I know it's just a quick little Conan adventure. It's a lot of fun. We'll see how it plays out. And guys, I wish you all the best. Thanks for watching. I got one more week. I'm going to put I'm leaving my contest up, raffle up for some giveaway games for one more week. And so go look at that. I'm hopefully going to post this in the same day, so it might be one day late. But regardless, go look at that. What you have to do to gain or be included in the raffle for the games that I'm doing are to like the video, my update video that talks about the event, and then also make a comment. And everybody who does that and is a subscriber will also be included in the raffle. So go do that, because there's some free games like Teeny Epic Quest and a big game like Arkham Horror. So get on that, and we'll see if you guys can win, or who wins, rather. And it's basically just my way of saying thank you for helping me to reach and pass 4,000 subscribers. That was a milestone for me, and I do very much appreciate it. So thanks for everybody. Take care. I'll talk to you soon. I hope you're enjoying this little run through of Conan. The one thing I did forget to do, well, we'll update it right now before it's too late. I missed this when I played this game, but in between the recovery step and the actions, you're supposed to advance the round marker. So we're on now round 1. Okay, that is going to be the end of that. Actually, we should have done that the first activation, so this should be advancing us to round 2 of 8. Yeah, we got to get our heroes got to get out of there. The Overlord's trying to beat him back. really bad luck on the weapon draws. Only Valeria actually has a weapon to fight with right now, which is terrible. But we'll see what happens. Anyway, guys, thanks again. Talk to you soon.